I think we should switch roles. I think I should be like, yeah, my name's Brooke. She'd be like,
I don't want to do a high voice.
my name's Elizabeth. Fine. You can be Brooke and I'll be Elizabeth.
I'm gonna like really like Dad's voice is gonna be like really down here. It's gonna be like, hey,
Welcome to the
I
Intentional
feel like your
Parents
voice might be
Podcast.
deeper than Dad's.
Welcome back to the Intentional Parents Podcast. We're keeping all that in. You guys get to have all that in. What? Okay, so we have some special guests on the show today. Before talking, I think you did probably the best intro. Could you give it to us real quick,
Oh,
please?
yes. Okay. Welcome back to the Intentional Parents Podcast. My name is Brooke.
and
So-
I'm Elizabeth.
And
So
we
we
intentionally parent our kids.
Big parents
So
over here.
this is going to be a fun one today. Wait, what did you just
I
say?
said big parents over here.
Are we gonna be able to keep it together?
I don't know.
I'm
So
not
this
sure.
is a fun one. Truth be told, real quick, this is a fun one. Duke, Scarlet, welcome to the show. No
Thank
doubt
you.
that people have
About
heard
time.
your names. Did you say about time?
Took you long enough. Oh,
Did you guys just change
Yes.
it?
Jinx.
Okay, so Duke, you're sitting at this moment. You're 16. Scarlet, you're 13 in this moment. We're gonna go halves. You guys you're almost 16 and a half. You're actually closer to 14 than you are 13.
Mhm.
And Elizabeth and I were chatting. We're like, we should have a chat with our kids about what it's like to be teenagers in this moment and how we can learn us, Elizabeth and I, in real time, but also for others. So that was where this came from. Also, really funny when Duke walked in the room. Scarlet, you said, what'd you say?
What did
Hey,
I
chat.
say? I said, hey,
What?
chat, you pulled up to the function.
Oh, that's really bad. That
And
was
then
really
I had to
bad.
ask,
Yeah.
what does chat mean?
And
what's a
what is function?
She
What
knows
is
what a
a
function
Do you know
is.
what a function is?
Yeah, tell us.
Yes.
Okay, what's a function?
Like a gathering of people. And then I learned from you guys that chat is like the group chat.
Yeah,
Right?
essentially, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm going to tell everyone really quick before we get in this conversation. It's going to be very fun. Also, though, if you have not had a chance to rate, subscribe, or leave a comment, these are very helpful things. And as this episode is actually going to be released on Christmas Eve, that's the best Christmas present. You're mocking me already with your face.
Sorry,
Say it. What are you
sorry.
gonna, say what you're going to say. Tell me what you're thinking.
I just like all the times when I'm thinking like all the times when Scarlet was younger and doing like the makeup things, it's like please like and subscribe.
Oh, you mean
And, like,
pretend
I
Share
did
this with your
lots of
friends.
slime videos that were never posted because
Yeah,
I was
those
not
were
allowed to
funny.
have a YouTube channel, which was a very wise decision.
a very
That would
wise-
have been terrible.
I'm
Never
glad to hear-
let
That
a
would've been
little
cooked.
tiny
And then
child
you
have
would-
a YouTube channel.
Well, the only problem with that is like the infinite blackmail that you can pull from.
Yep.
Is
We
you
have-
just look up the YouTube channel and you just have blackmail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Instead, it's just on our phones with all the
we can
pretend
just
YouTube
send them to your
videos
friends.
that
The
Scarlet
leg-
made.
no,
and
the
you
Lego
may-
videos.
You
I
may
was
have
hoping
made
you
a
wouldn't
few
bring that up.
in your time.
Yeah.
Oh, you and Solomon and your. Anyway,
It's some good
we
ones.
won't
Okay.
expose. We'll be fair. We'll be kind.
Thank
I
you.
do want to ask both of you though. How do you feel about this? I mean, this is a whole different setup for you guys. Obviously, most of the time you're not jumping on different people's podcasts.
Yep.
I mean,
have-
I
you-
dabble.
I wouldn't put it past you. I wouldn't be surprised if you have like some sort of like network of people you're connected with. But that said, I want to ask you guys, how are you feeling about all this? Like different world, fine, good, weird.
Good. All the cameras and lights and they're pretty bright. Yeah.
Scarlett, what did you say? You were like, this is great lighting for photos. And I was like,
Well,
it's literally made for that.
And then I also have a really crappy Samsung phone. So then when I took my dad's phone and used the camera, I was like, I'm dead now. I now have perfect lighting, perfect camera. This is
Perfect
great.
everything.
Shout out to Pinwheel. Yes.
Oh
and-
my
and how you
God.
feel about it. How you-
No, I'm excited. It's fun. We don't
It's
usually
fun.
do
I
this stuff.
actually haven't really been in this room very much.
Actually, you know what, Duke, though? Remember with the
But yeah,
studio,
but I
you
mean, I
helped-
painted that wall.
You
right
painted
there.
that wall.
Painted that.
It
We all
was,
did.
yeah, there has been
Child
some.
labor, everybody.
It was a request. He helped.
Yeah, we are studying sweatshops and history right now.
That
That's
was-
literally what I just came from.
Oh my God.
And I'm not
That's
even
terrible.
kidding. That's really bad.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that so much. As far as the timing, terrible thought. Terrible.
Yeah,
Anyway,
terrible
let's
thought.
keep moving.
Don't do it.
So what? I'm gonna try to make it through this. So one of the things that's so funny that I'm sure you guys feel, I'd actually be curious. This is my first question. This is not even one we've even thought about. I would wonder sometimes, because we joke about this at home. One of my favorite jokes / most horrifying jokes that you guys say is, especially when we travel, sometimes like, oh, are you guys leaving to go help other families be intentional parents? Interesting.
Leaving your family.
Leaving your family to help other families.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah,
I
we do that.
love that. And obviously we joke a lot. And if anyone, we have a certain level of sarcasm that anyone has heard before.
We have a lot
We're
of sarcasm.
a pretty funny family.
I think
But
we
the
have a
thing
lot.
is, we switch so quickly. We go from the most sarcastic to the most serious things on planet Earth.
Does that bother you sometimes?
No, it's just kind of funny.
Kind of funny. Okay.
Bothers me sometimes, I'll be honest for sure. I can't make the transition as quick as you guys can. It's like,
I would love, maybe if we just start putting a microphone in front of you, Duke, I think like you'll just start oversharing emotions. I like this idea. You just start sharing everything.
just
to
like
us.
I can't even.
So let me ask you though, how does it feel sometimes for you guys? Because I know like even at events, sometimes people will come up and know you, but you don't know them.
Never me. People never know who I am.
See,
You hide it.
he
You're
never
good.
gets that.
No,
I
no.
think it's
Oh,
because he's always just like,
You're
he's
also
just
in
like
and out.
around. He's just like walking.
Yeah, wait. Let me lay out a little story real quick. So we're at the Motherhood retreat, which I don't know if I should do like a shameless plug of like, you guys should go to that.
I mean, you should.
I
The
mean,
next
go
one's
for
in
it. Why
Nashville.
not?
The next
fun.
one's in Nashville.
It's
You guys
really
should
fun.
go to that one. It's pretty cool. I don't know. Like and subscribe. Anyways, sorry. I'm sorry, you guys. But I was like walking and I didn't get recognized the entire retreat. Not one time. No one asked who I was.
Great.
That's crazy.
And so I think this like one lady was like, oh my gosh, are you Duke? I just met your parents. They're so nice, blah, blah, blah. And then I just see Scarlet, just like all these moms around me. They're like, are you Scarlet? Yeah, you're Scarlet.
it's because I
she's
will
like,
like I'll
yeah.
work at the merch table and
And
I
you
just
also
kind
there
of
too.
You lead worship.
I float and it's like it's actually surprisingly one of my favorite things, oddly. Like a lot of people are like, do you even like that? I'm like, actually,
Yeah,
yes.
tell me why you like that.
Well, I thrive in busy spaces, but then after the busy times, it's kind of problematic because after it's really busy and I get to get up early and have something to do. After that, I just have to come down and then I'm just like in my room and I'm like, there is no meaning in life now. I have no purpose. So,
You're talking about you love serving
I
at the
love
motherhood retreat.
Yeah. And it's like, but yes, I do get somehow it's almost like he puts on this invisibility cloak and
I
nobody
That's actually
recognizes him.
That's a real thing though. Like some people do a really good job of like, it's literally, there's a lot of data around this, but different personalities that know how to like almost like hide in a crowd and other people that don't even
totally.
possess
Yeah.
that skill at all.
I'm just kind of
it's not a
like,
skill or bad.
I'm just kind of there. And then a lot of people are like, are you Brooke and Elizabeth's daughter?
I just kind of
That's
float
me.
around and I'm like, usually I'm an extreme introvert. So I'm
Well,
usually like,
yeah, you are.
and so when like in those big settings, I'm usually like, the last thing I want to do is talk to, and
No.
it's also scary though, because they're all moms. I'm like, what are
Like,
we
don't
going to
touch
talk
me.
about?
Don't touch me.
Their
Like,
daughters probably, but that's not
That's-
appropriate, son.
no,
So
we should-
glad
yeah.
you didn't do it.
Yeah.
Please tell. I'm glad you never did it, but this is a safe place to share what you were hoping
Oh.
to do first motherhood retreat.
okay.
And you
Love
literally
this idea.
tried.
I
Share
tried to get my youth pastor in on this, but he wouldn't. He wouldn't.
He's smart.
He was
Why don't you
too
turn
wise
that
for
mic towards your face a little bit, buddy, so
Like this?
it's not blocking your
Okay,
whole face. There you go.
here, okay.
Here you go.
So basically,
You sure?
here's
Oh,
here's
I
the layout.
think-
No,
yeah,
this
I'm
is
glad
funny.
he
This
didn't
is
do
funny.
it.
I didn't do it. I wasn't
It was a great
really
joke.
gonna do. It was an
a big
attempt
thought.
that
It
didn't
was,
work. So
I'm
it
really
didn't get
glad it
done. But it was pretty funny. So I was like, oh my gosh, it's like the motherhood retreat. Everybody's like, so many moms, there's gonna be so much fun. And
Well, we need to
recently-
clarify. It was the I Love Hot Moms t-shirt trend that was going around
Yes,
and
and I was
everybody
like,
was
wait,
wearing.
what lines up perfectly is a I Love Hot Moms t-shirt in a motherhood retreat
With
where
800
700 moms
women.
will be.
As
So I'm like,
as a
the
young
target
boy,
audience.
smart.
Yeah, the target audience. And so I was like, okay, how do I
really
get
want-
one of these without my parents finding out? Because it'll be like show up on like recently ordered in Amazon or something. And so I was like, okay, we live in Bend. There's no shopping around
No.
here. So I was like, I can't really go anywhere to find one. And then I was like, okay. And so I had to resort to talking to my youth pastor. I was like,
He was not on board.
hey,
He liked the idea.
he was like, that's super funny. But I was like, hey, can you just buy me an I Love Hot Moms t-shirt and give it to me? I'll pay you. And he's like, I can't do that.
I can't do
I'm
that.
sorry.
I'm sorry. I think
because
I
we're
would
friends
get
with him,
That's
and that
wisdom.
worked out. That's amazing. Well, I guess.
Which we laughed really hard and said there'd be a good amount of people that would think that's hilarious.
No.
And
I remember the initial response. You were like, never do that. That's a
And
bad
then-
idea.
and then came
you
the,
were like
"Oh, that'd be
offended.
funny."
And then dad was like, That's pretty funny.
Wow.
But
Yeah.
never do
I
that.
don't know. I thought it was pretty funny because there'd be a good
Yeah.
amount that would think it was funny and a good amount that would be very deeply
So
offended.
to all
Oh,
of you
very.
sarcastic people out there, just I think you'd appreciate this.
I don't mean it. I would never. I don't actually
He
like
wouldn't
hot
actually
moms.
do that, but that was a very strong idea.
That said, though, yeah, do you guys feel pressure sometimes with
Yes.
the work? You didn't even let me get my question out. Okay, same more.
No, sorry. Finish your question.
No, my question
I
just
want to
like
hear the question though.
in the work that we do, we actually talk about this in a joking way but a serious way. Like, we are really honest that we don't have this figured out, but nonetheless, I've got to imagine in some moments that makes you feel pressure, like pressure to either be on or perform a certain way, whether that's in public or private, or when you meet people, you might feel like this unspoken expectation. So, and why I'm asking is because, like, I would hate that what we do as work and calling would impact you, but of course it does. So I'm just curious, do you feel pressure from that? And if you do, what does that look like?
I think
Honesty is appreciated.
Yes.
And caveat, we have not actually rehearsed any of these questions.
No,
and
we
I've
have not.
told you.
I looked
They
at a
gave us
page and was like, cool
They
questions.
gave us a paper of like maybe like what kind of questions so we wouldn't be like in the
Blind.
dark or whatever. And I just was like, it was like on my desk and I glanced over it
Just like, cool.
and I didn't remember a thing.
That's even
sorry.
better.
It's okay.
So sorry to cut you off. I want to set that up. Scar, go ahead.
I think I in most ways love what you guys do, but I think sometimes there's definitely like a expectation to perform. Even though I know what's nice is I babysit a lot and I'm around a lot of moms, so I know like all the moms anytime they, I don't know, like little kids go and do a performance or anything like that, they're always like, oh, my babies, they did so good. So I'm like, okay, so I know it's mostly what they think, but I think there definitely is an expectation of like, I mean, we joke about it a lot of like, oh, our parents are like, I don't know if well known is the word, but like people know of them.
Well, like whenever someone says the word intentional, it's like
Don't worry.
me and Scarlet will both just be like,
Intentional parents.
we'll just be like, intentional parents, welcome back to the podcast. And I mean, it's all fun and games. My answer to that question is no, not really, because I think I don't feel a lot of pressure because I'm not actively we're not actively meeting. We're not actively at a motherhood retreat. Like
Sure,
that's
sure.
not
It's like
at a
almost
motherhood
like a
retreat. I'm usually busy with like either like helping out our stuff or like eating food that's there. It's just my primary job.
What did you do?
Make sure no food goes to waste.
Yeah, honestly. And so like that's like where I do feel like pressure, but even then it's like growing. I mean, we were a pastor for a long time, ever since we were little.
Yes.
Everybody's been like in the thing. So everybody's like, oh, are you blank, blank, blank? So I'm used to all of the like meeting people. And I think honestly now I'm to a point where I'm like, I don't feel pressure from it. Also because I'm not like super, I'm not looking at like, I'm not listening to the podcast. I'm not
I'm
on
offended.
Instagram.
I am offended.
No, people
Like,
will
you know-
ask, they're like, do you listen to the podcast? And I'm like,
I
no,
got asked that the other day,
I do
and
not
I was
listen
like-
to the podcast.
Now I have a question.
Listen to podcasts.
That's funny.
Uh,
Thank you guys for answering.
the word pressure. Do you like, because what I hear you saying is like a Scarlet, you saying sometimes there's a sense of being watched or like people are watching because they've heard us talk about you, they've heard about our family, things like that. And that can create a natural pressure. Is that like what you
I think that, and like in general, like we were talking about this at youth group one time, and I have friends who are pastors' kids as well, and they also feel it because it's like their parents are teaching on a certain thing. I think it's specifically hard since you guys teach on parenting, because then it sometimes feels like you can't make mistakes when you're around other people, which of course you can, but it's like it's almost like if you make a mistake,
I don't
your
feel that
parents
pressure.
might be put in a bad light. It's because you just hide and
No, it's because I'm a guy and I don't really.
and you're an introvert, so you're just kind of like there. And I'm just like, hi, how are you doing?
You're
And
making
so
me sound like some like
no, you're
No,
not.
let me
You're
say
not.
this. I'm the-
You just
guys, I'm
don't.
the
You
complete
just
opposite
don't
of that.
naturally go up to a random person and are
but
like,
I could if I needed to.
Yes,
you
you
could.
do
Yeah.
great. So let me maybe you're not. It's just differences,
Yeah.
and we all feel. And the question wasn't leading as much as it was just like, I wonder if That just came to my mind. But yeah, how you handle it is different. And Scarlet, you have a different personality than your brother. And so obviously you guys have different iterations of how this impacts you. So, I was just curious about how that impacted you. And I would also be curious because as we are in this space, obviously Mom and I are constantly trying to learn and try to understand ourselves in hopes to better parent you guys. But that's like a really messy process. And so, I mean, like, even though we would attempt to want to be really thoughtful, good parents, the truth is, and you guys know better than anybody, that we have our good days and our very bad days. What were you saying the other night? You were talking to Kaylin on the phone and you were like you said that something about, oh yeah, my parents are like,
Oh
what was that?
She was like, she's like doing homework and she's like, oh dang it, my parents are fighting. And I was like, what a coincidence. I'm doing homework and my parents are fighting too.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, that is a very real, if not daily situation in sometimes in seasons. And so, yeah, I think my hope today, or our hope, was just to have some conversations about what it's like to be your age right now. Now, you're going to have a very particular lane and view because you are living on the West Coast of the world in a city that has almost, and we don't love this part of it, but it is true, almost zero diversity.
Yep.
And that is not something that is
tragic.
It's
really
a thumbs
sad.
up. We actually are very, it's actually something that we talk about often. But we also, like, that is where we're at in this consistent, or like in this moment. So my question to you guys is, like, what is it like to be a teen right now? And you can take that as like a cultural, you can take that as like, here's my experience. Go.
Scar,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
take middle school, I'll take high school.
I honestly think it's similar. So I think we can.
Way
Well,
different.
but you
It's
guys,
way different.
it
way
is
different. Way
maybe
different.
a little. You guys are in two different contexts. Duke, you are a sophomore in high school. You go to a public high school.
Public high school.
You
And-
drive.
Scarlet,
Drive.
yeah, you drive, you work.
Obey the law. Never
Obey the
speed.
law. Don't
And we
speed.
know Life 360. You hate it. It's another
Dude,
it's
I'm
another
not going to
argument for
say
later.
that it is off by a couple miles when it says what's the speed I'm going.
Oh.
It's off by a lot.
Confession.
Good to
I was like, it
Faster or
says I'm
slower,
going
son?
20 and like a 35, and I was like, I'm definitely not going 20.
Were you going faster than 20? Maybe.
Well, 20 to 35, so I was definitely going exactly 35 miles an hour, as you
are-
should.
So when we see it, we should round up. Is that what you're saying?
Oh my gosh.
Wow,
Maybe,
you
or
just
you just see
expose
it and be okay
yourself.
with it.
I never watch your
Okay,
fast.
and then Scarlet, you are in 8th grade. You
Private
go to
Christian
like
school.
a hybrid homeschool, 3 days a week.
You
You're
don't
home.
look-
2
Feeling
days
great
a
She
week.
about it.
loves it like a
No, I
lot.
just think that's important for people to understand the context
Yeah.
of which you're speaking. And if you just like, you can take this anywhere you want, but just be thinking of like, what are some of the pressures that you wish adults understood? Of like, Duke, you've given me some great social commentary recently of explaining to me what your everyday environment is like.
Mhm.
Yeah. What does like
What does it look
that anxiety and pressure and a social media filled world, like take it wherever you want, like whatever is coming to mind.
Me
Want me to
first?
go first because I'm in middle school. I can go up to high school.
Well, I'm older than you.
Well, let's start with Duke. Duke, go ahead.
Thank you.
No, I feel like you had something to say. So
Yeah.
why don't we
Age
start
over
with you?
beauty. See, like, I like made you mad and gave you a compliment at the same
That's
time.
actually
It's called an
That's impre-
underhanded
that's-
compliment. Son.
yeah.
That's exactly what that's called. And
Yeah.
it's not manly. Go. Keep going
Okay,
next.
sorry. Anyways, no. So you said like social pressures, anxities, all that kind
What's
of
it
stuff.
like to be a
Yeah, what's it
teenager
like
right
to-
now? What do adults
Ooh.
need to know about what
Okay.
it's like to be a teenager right now?
A lot.
So let's first go into me as a human. I'm, in my eyes, grew up foundation. Dad's pastor, mom, all the
He's a
worship
Christian
team, all
woman.
this stuff. Christian woman.
Wow, dude, not
Love it.
degrading.
Keep going. Stop.
Remember that
Keep
housewife
going.
comment I made the other
Stop.
day?
Keep going.
Just
Sorry.
keep
Just
going.
keep
That was
going.
really bad. I'm sorry, mom. And
I didn't hear what you
basically,
said it's okay.
so I have a pretty strong foundation, and I was homeschooled from 4th grade to
Ninth. Until
to-
when you went to high
Yeah.
school.
till I went to high school. So I had that. And so I was like, I'm pretty kind of head on my shoulders. I'm not really like, in my opinion, like easily shaken by a ton of stuff.
Okay.
But going to school every day freshman year is a little different. It was like, everybody's getting into figuring out how high school works. And there's pressure. There's like not a lot of pressure. School is not crazy hard, but it's like a little bit hard. And it was me figuring a lot of stuff out. Nowadays, in like being a sophomore, when a lot of kids start to like experiment with like parties and drugs and like hardcore vaping, just like a lot of that kind of stuff. So it's like definitely a lot more weary than you think to be around that because it's so concentrated. Because they have literally, I think we have like 1,000 or more.
1,400 kids at your school.
1,400 kids at my school. This big new school. But you basically have 1,400 kids who are trying to figure out how to live with each other, throw drugs, throw all that stuff in the mix, and then it's like, it's a lot. And so it's like you're walking down the halls and you're like, it's like normal, and then you like have conversations with people. And I think for me, it's like your heart just gets kind of weary of like just all the, I don't know, like
darkness?
Darkness, yeah. I don't know if
thinking.
darkness is the right word, but like, yeah, all the unjust, all the like, just not godly stuff. And it just makes you like tired and like, it's just not fun.
Yeah.
But I think there's also a realm of the reason I still go is like, there are aspects of it that are fun. And so like today, like, I just like hanging with some friends in math class and it was fun. We were just having conversations. We're like, looking at cars or whatever and like talking about that kind of stuff. And like those are the parts I enjoy. And then there are parts of like last period to today, like kid threw like a paper ball across the room and was like one of my friends, he's like blaming me for it. And I was so mad at him, bro. Cause I was like not minding my own business, doing my assignment. And then he's like blaming me for it. I was like, bro, what the heck? Like, just throw it away. And then the teacher goes, if one of you doesn't throw it away, I'm giving you both attention. I was like, I'm not throwing that away, dude. You chucked it at my face, so go throw it away. I was so mad. No, we had to get. I was so mad.
Are you telling us live on air you have detention? Is that what's happening?
No, I don't have detention. One of my very nice friends decided to pick it up and angrily stormed off and threw it in the trash can. And I was very grateful. And I realized I should have been the bigger person there, but I was
there. You go. I was so tired. I'm so
mad.
Now I don't have to tell you. I'm glad you knew how to fix that one.
Okay, I have an observation and then I have 2 questions or things I'd like you to say more about. And Scarlet, we will get to you. Okay.
Good.
It's not because you're an afterthought. It is just because we're finishing.
Because you're the second child.
Not joking.
Go ahead.
Okay, so what I have observed in you these last, I don't know, what has it been, a year and a half since you've been in public high school?
Mm-hmm.
I think I agree 110%. You had a very strong foundation / a really good head on your shoulders. You've always kind of been an old soul.
With a good with a new bod.
With a new bod.
Old
soul,
soul,
new bod because you're young.
Yes.
So yeah,
I am.
keep going.
But I think something that maybe I didn't foresee, but I've really enjoyed watching is in this last year and a half of being exposed to those types of things every day and talking to us about it and just observing it. I think it's really allowed you to develop your own convictions outside of what the family convictions are. It's really, I remember even your freshman year of really having to think and observe the copious amounts of vaping going on and think about I remember like midway through freshman year, you made this observation. You said, Mom, all of the kids who vape like consistently, who are constantly vaping are some of the most depressed people I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And so it's just things like that you've started to develop your own thoughts and opinions around outside of us, but while still living at home and getting to process it with us. And I think that's been just really fun to watch you grow in that maturity and autonomy of really developing your own thoughts. And then 2 things I want to press into with you. You had said to me, I don't know if you remember this. This was like a few weeks ago. You were telling me that there's this group of kids that is kind of always teasing and making fun of the kids with special needs and particularly kids with autism. Do you remember this? We were driving in the car.
I remember this.
And I said, and you were saying that it made you mad. And I said, well, what would happen if you just said something to them? What if you just said, hey guys, don't joke around like that. I have a sister with autism. Like,
It's well, I was
Don't
real
joke like
quick.
that.
It's not like a specific group.
It's just everybody.
It's not. No, it's not everybody. It's
In my
like
school,
it's
it
just
is.
like it's mainly when someone who has a special need or something or has heavy autism, and they like go like around the school. Usually they're like let to walk around the school. When kids will mess around with them and like joke around with them and then like try to get them to say stuff.
Oh.
It's not like bullying because they're not aware of what they're actually doing. But it's not cool.
It's
And they
demeaning.
it's demeaning. Yeah.
But to my point though is that I said to you, like, why don't you just say like,
Oh yeah.
like help educate them in a respectful way? Like, dude, you can't, don't do that. Here's
Yeah.
why. And you said, oh, I would never do that. And that surprised me because that's not your natural
Yeah.
bent. In certain settings, you would be the first
Oh,
to
for
advocate
sure.
for somebody. But then you proceeded to explain, well, if I do that, A, it won't actually make them stop.
Mhm.
And then B, every time I'm around those people, they'll say, oh, there's Duke. He's so sensitive. And you're explaining, and you've explained in other conversations too, that there's this unique culture among your peers right now where people can say whatever they want, but if you respond or push back or defend yourself or somebody else,
Mhm.
then you immediately get labeled, put in a box,
Mhm.
canceled, basically.
Yeah.
And
There's
so-
a very quick cancel culture.
Yeah, I think that you were explaining
That's
to me
hard.
at one point that adds to the weariness and the fatigue
Yeah.
of like, I have to walk around being so careful, basically,
Yeah,
because you
and-
could get canceled for anything at any point.
Yeah. And that's like a really interesting thing because like I'm thinking to the days when you guys were in high school or like how it's portrayed in movies.
Back in the 70s.
Back in the
Not actually.
Back
Early-
in the
like
1800s, in the
when
1900s,
Jesus
actually.
Truly early 2000s. But keep
Yeah.
going, kids.
Anyways, they're like when guys would like when you wouldn't get canceled for saying something outrageous, like, and there are some guys who don't get canceled for it and whatever. But when someone, it's weird. It's like this like switch from like probably if someone was to say something really, really bad in your guys' like high school or whatever, they would probably get in trouble. People would be like, shouldn't have said that, blah, blah, blah. And now it's the opposite. It's like someone stands up for like another person, everybody kind of gets uncomfortable. And it's like if a kid's being made fun of and I was like cut it out, like that's not cool. Everybody would be like, oh, whatever, like get really weird. And then they like talk behind your back about it. Like
Yeah. Sure.
it's like this
That
like
makes sense.
weird shift.
That totally makes sense. That totally makes sense. And so what I hear you saying, sweetie, and just to kind of sum that up is like, there's a level and a pressure, because I want to talk about technology specifically as well, because I think that plays into your human experience right now as a teenager in high school. Scar, I want you to answer the same question, and then I want to talk about technology because I think that's actually a really interesting one. Because, and you don't have to hold back when we get to technology, but like there's some lines that we've drawn in the sand, which I know are very hard for you guys, but then also seeing the positive and negative. So we'll talk about that in a minute. But Scar, what's your experience as a high school musical?
High school musical.
Sorry.
High school.
What a great program. Oh, from our Lord.
Never
Keep
watched
going.
those.
I've never watched it either.
Well, as my mom said, I go to like a private Christian co-op school thing. So, but I mean,
If you
even
can't tell her body language is telling you what she thinks about that.
okay, I have.
It's okay,
I
we
have,
don't-
It's
Girl, you
gotten
need to have
better.
Grace on the Academy.
It's called Grace Academy. It's called Grace Academy. That's why he's making that joke.
There's nothing wrong with it. Keep going.
It's a
So
new one for you, Mom.
I think it helps that I have a group of friends. I have a good group of friends there, but even just like what Duke was saying, like there like all the kids in my class, pretty much all of them except for pretty much my group of friends, because I try to pick my group well, because I'm like, I don't want to be surrounded with people that aren't going to be the best influence. But like they will just like say outrageous things about kids with autism, and there is somebody with autism in my class. And so I went up to my teacher and I was like, hey, I was talking to my mom about it, and she was like, I think you should talk to your teacher about it. And I was like, I don't want to be a tattletale like that. No. And she
Snitches
was like,
get stitches.
she was like, that would not be tattletaling. And I was like, okay. And so,
Well, I was explaining to you, there's a difference between being a tattletale and advocating.
Yeah.
One thing that I will say though is I know exactly how you're feeling with the tattletale thing because from my experience,
They will cancel you if you tattle.
it's if you tattle on somebody for the smallest thing,
That's part of it too.
canceled so quickly.
Wow.
So quickly.
And I was also kind of feeling a conviction because they just kept joking about it. I was like, we were playing this science game and they wanted to be the autism table. And I was like, my teacher was like, oh, okay. And I was like, don't do that. Because the girl with autism was sitting at that table and I was like, don't do that. And she's like, is that bad? And I was like, don't do that. And she was like, then they came up with another name that also had to do with autism. And I was like, the teacher was like, really? And I was like, don't do that. And she was like, okay, something else. And they came up with something else that was fine. But I was like, oh my gosh. So then I was kind of feeling a conviction. I was like, I think I should go tell my teacher. So I told my teacher and she was like, she talked to the class. But even walking out, they were like, oh, bro, it's like we were just joking about it. And then they kept joking about it. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
So it's just really
that's
annoying.
a part of it too.
And that's part of it. And I think, I can't speak for boys. I'm sure that they have a little bit of this, but heavily for girls, there's a lot of, there's such a high standard of what you should look like and act like and all this stuff. And I even saw on Pinterest a girl was like, okay, if you act like your normal self, can you still get a boyfriend? And I was like, are you joking? You're going to act like a completely different person so you can get a boyfriend. And then I was like, that's so stupid. And so I think there's such a heavy,
You're right, that is stupid.
There's such a heavy comparison thing. And like even talking to like all my friends, they're like, I never go on social media, and yet that's still such a heavy thing of you have to be this certain shape and size. You have to look this way. You have to have all the cool things, you know?
So
and
even when you're not on social media, it's like it's influencing the culture.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like even if you don't have social media, there are people that will try to influence.
Well, even like you said, Pinterest is a really interesting thing that's changed, which now like we used to be like, yeah, look on Pinterest. And then we realized people just upload a ton of TikTok videos there. And so now it's something that we don't
completely
I'm not
dump on
it-
Pinterest
No, I know
because
you-
mom
I
and
lo-
dad,
I know
because
you
otherwise
love-
you will never let me go on Pinterest again.
No. We're involved with it. Like we know that.
Yeah.
And that's why we are careful to say, hey, if you're looking for something, look in this area. Don't, because it's not like a free for all.
Yeah.
That's what we mean.
Exactly.
And we're not going to take Pinterest from you as
And I don't
as
even
an
have Pinterest
inspiration.
on my phone or anything like that.
No, well, your phone doesn't hold anything like that. It's an experience.
really dumb phone.
But I'm just saying to you, like, I think what you just said is a really interesting detail because for a while, even before I knew that, like, I was just like, well, Pinterest is literally, at least from when I was on it, it was like, and you're not even on it, but you like inspiration. It's just literally
It's
just
like art
photos
and recipes.
And then obviously it's been taken over by so many things. So there's just so many different things like Pinterest or others that can infiltrate.
Yes.
So many
Like just
things.
like things like that. And I feel like I was caught in that loop for a while, and I think still sometimes am because like there's like this certain standard of you have to look this way, your body has to be this way. If you're not, then just what's your purpose, you know?
Yeah.
And so it's like it makes you look in the mirror and you're like, okay, I have no worth, no purpose. And then but then what's hard is growing up in church, you hear both opposites of like the worldly view and then the Christian view, but it's so hard to like go into the Christian view of like God made you as you are. But I heard this, it was actually from Pinterest. So don't knock everything on Pinterest.
Jesus can redeem anything, including Pinterest.
But I saw this thing that was like, imagine you made this incredible work of art and then you showed it to your friend and you gave it to your friend and then they started being like, that's wrong with it and that's wrong with it and that one too.
I
And
actually
it's
know
just
exactly how it feels.
so terrible.
Just kidding. Just kidding.
But then you're just like, no, that's like absolutely terrible. And I wish it was different. And that's essentially what you do with God. I feel like for girls specifically is like you go like, and this is wrong and I don't like this and this and this. And it just makes you be like, ugh, like I'm just worthless. And then God's like, so I took all this time to create you, think about you all the time.
Girls,
and then you're just like,
Preach.
and then you're just like, okay, no, I hate this. And I have to live with this. And so I thought that was really interesting. I was like, oh, like when I am like, I don't like this and this, that's basically just mocking God and being like, what you made is not good. And so, which I thought was so interesting.
Girl,
I was
you're
like,
spitting bars like crazy. Can I say something? Can I maybe just ask a question to you then to follow up with that? To anyone that's feeling that way, even including yourself, what would you encourage anyone that's feeling like that to do in a real way? Like, what are the tangible, not like just well, just pray more. That's
Well, yeah,
good. But
no.
like, what would you? No, you should. But
Yeah.
I'm saying,
Yeah. Or
what
like, what do
prac-
you do when you find
Yeah.
yourself caught in
In
that
that.
loop? Because that
I-
loop is
Real.
human.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, I mean, I do pray about it. That is definitely something that I do. But I've been doing this thing, and I told my friends about this thing, and they were like, that helps so much. Anytime I look in the mirror, like I'm usually like, and I don't like this and this, but then instead I'm like, okay, if I look at myself, how God looked at me, what would he see? And then I'm like, wow, I am beautiful. I'm a child of God. Like, and then that I feel like helps redirect me. And my friends were like, okay, I'll try that. And they started doing that. And they're like, that does help because like it then takes, because I heard this, we were at youth group the other night and there was this great teaching and it was about pride. And it was saying insecurity is also a form of pride.
Yes.
And I was like, that is so interesting. So like, even when you're like mocking what you look like or how your personality is, like that's still like, I don't know, that's still like prideful because it's just thinking about yourself and it's kind of being self-absorbed.
Wow.
And so I was like, that's really interesting. But even today I was like,
I'm like gonna cry over here. I'm so proud of you. I didn't know you even did that.
uh-huh.
I mean that. That is so cool. I just mean I'm really encouraged to hear.
Well,
I didn't know that.
Scarlet, I feel like I've
That's really
seen
cool.
you,
I don't want to cut you off.
not in
I
the
just-
past, but still actively. You have developed this ability to be able to recognize that battle.
Mhm.
I think for so many, and I don't think it's exclusive to women. I think for men it can look different,
Mhm.
but for women, and I think especially for young girls, but women of any age,
Mhm.
half the time we don't even recognize the battle that is happening within us.
Mhm.
Of that battle that you named. I go to church and I hear that my identity is supposed to be in God, but when I look in the mirror,
I feel
that's not what I
Yeah.
actually
Mhm.
feel and experience.
Hmm.
And we feel this in this tension, which we will feel that tension this side of heaven always,
Yeah.
you know. But what I've seen grow so beautifully in you is the ability to recognize when the battle's happening and then to develop tools like you're talking about of what can I actually do to try to believe more fully what God actually says about
Mhm.
me and what my identity actually is.
Mhm.
And as you're talking, I was thinking of like Garden of Eden, right? Like,
Mhm.
which is how the world was supposed to be, how our relationship with God was supposed to be before sin entered the world.
Mhm.
Well, Satan was talking to Eve about there being something better, something to be improved
Yeah.
upon before she ever even ate the fruit.
Mhm.
And him talking to her about it actually did lead to her eating the fruit. And now all of our eyes are opened to good and evil,
Mhm.
right? But like that desire to be looking for something better is something that like God can use greatly to help us grow
Mhm.
and to make the world a better place and to step into whatever he's called us to do. And it's the very same thing that the enemy uses to torment,
Yes.
especially young girls,
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it definitely, it feels like that a lot of like, it's hard because you're just like, oh no, I'm just insecure. But then if you think about it, that's very much from the enemy. He's just like this and this and this. And then you think about it and you're like, I don't want the enemy to talk to me like that. Like, and I feel like that almost makes you want to like, be like, no. And so, but like even this morning, I like to use the Bible app in the morning because it's kind of hard for me to just like flip through the Bible and read. So I'm like, okay. So it's nice to like watch a video and have prompts and stuff. So I was doing that this morning. And then there's like two parts. There's like the video and kind of the explanation. And then there's like a prayer thing. And I felt like God was saying, close the computer. And I was like, what? And so I was like, I closed the computer. And then I was like, okay, what? And then I felt like he was like, you are a child of God, and I want you to remember this because there's going to be something today that you're going to have to remember that. And I was like, okay, that's weird. And then today I was doing my makeup, and I was like, I don't like how it turned out. It looks bad. And
I'm podcasting today.
Podcasting today. My skin looks bad. I hate this. And I was also sick the last couple of days, so I was just like, this is terrible. This is what is happening. And then I remembered, I was like, so that's what God wanted me to keep that for. So I thought that was like, so I think even though it is kind of a cliche, that is a thing of like praying. And even if I like sometimes will even feel like a little bit of a nudge, I'm like, I don't know if that's God, but I'm still like, okay, I'll take time to listen because if it is, then you know. But I think for teenagers today, at least for girls, I think pretty much all of us struggle with that. I don't know if you could name a person that has never struggled with that. I mean, that'd be great. But I think everybody does. Like no matter, like even like what I like to think about is even the most perfect people on Instagram, on Pinterest, on TikTok, like they all have the same insecurities, if not way more. And they're just trying to post videos of themselves to get likes for people to be like, oh, wow, you're really pretty. Like they just want affirmation. And so that's why they're posting all the videos. And it just becomes kind of stupid. You're like, you don't need to do that. Like, because it's just like, you look at that picture and you're like, I need to be that. But then what you don't realize is there are 10,000 million filters on it and they don't look anything close to that. Like I saw a picture, 2 different ones. They looked like completely different people, but it was the same person.
I think it's important to note that you don't have Instagram, TikTok, or any of those
I
things.
do not.
But
I do not.
I think that's why it's
But
even more
in general.
no, but I mean, it's just amazing that you're not on these apps. You don't have accounts. I mean, of course, you've seen them because mom and I have them, or your friends probably do, or I know they do. But that said, even with that level of non-access, it's amazing how much that's infiltrated the culture.
No, yeah, for sure. And I think it's like even friends can do that too. I think that they can, like there are some people that just in general sort of try to set a standard or whatever. And then you're like, oh, I have to live up to that standard.
Well, I mean, it's everywhere.
It is.
It's every ad you see.
Yes.
I mean, it's like.
It's all, you need this.
Inescapable.
You need to look like this.
But what I think is interesting hearing you talk, this is in a homeschool context where most of the kids in your class, a lot of them don't have phones or social media.
A lot of them do,
I mean, they
though.
have phones, but like
they're not even allowed to have them at school.
Yeah,
right?
no.
They can't even have them during the day.
So I'm just thinking of like the
interesting.
difference between your context and Duke, the one you're in every day.
Yeah.
Wow.
If you're feeling that as strongly as you do, Scarlet,
Yeah.
You're still in somewhat of a bubble,
just
because of where you go to school and where you live. That man, can you imagine adding tens of thousands of millions of other outside voices coming at you?
Yeah.
But even like it happens at school too. Like there was one of my friends, there were these girls that were talking really badly about her and they're like, oh, she just like always has to be perfect and she always have lip gloss on and her hair always has to be perfect. And I was like, I didn't want to say anything because they were going to say something about it. But then, so I just walked away. But then I walked away thinking like, in general, like why, just because somebody wants to feel pretty doesn't mean that you should be like, oh, wow. They're like there's so much gossip with girls specifically. I'm sure there is with guys too, but like with
I have something to
girls,
say about that.
with girls specifically, like there's like, they put like people down so much just to make them feel better about themselves. And that's happened to me too. And it's just like, if you think about it, you're like, so you're this insecure that you have to make me feel so small to make you feel better about yourselves. And I was like, it's very interesting. Anyways, sorry, that took a very long time.
No,
to get
it
my
didn't.
point
You don't have to
across,
apologize. What are your thoughts? I want to talk about
I'm just kidding.
I want to talk about technology, but what were you going to say?
Oh, about what?
You said I have a thought about that.
Oh, the gossip thing? Oh,
Why?
yeah.
Is that what you had a thought on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like there's this weird paradigm shift. I was talking with mom about it. And I was interested. I was interested in how I've been noticing how guys handle their disagreements or like angers with each other, or like they like beef with somebody, or like
or
something like
steak. I love
They
steak.
gossip.
They got steak.
What
with
is
somebody.
steak with somebody? Keep going.
It's like it's very different than what you're gonna think, Scar. It's like
really?
very different. It's like you have one side of like, I want to fight you. We're gonna fight in the bathroom. Usually,
Why in the bathroom?
And no cameras in
Stay
there.
outside.
No
Get in
cameras.
trouble.
Oh, no
Yeah,
cameras.
no cameras in there. So there's no
Both good. There's no cameras in there, and also like that's
like
scary to think
there's no
about.
cameras in there.
There's a scary, dude.
So it's like yeah, most of the time that doesn't happen. Very rarely is there an actual fight. There's a lot of big talk, and then there's also this subtle with certain groups, and even the more popular like people. Like if someone has beef with you, there's a lot of bad mouthing behind your back. Like a lot of bad mouthing, a lot of like trying to undermine other stuff, other friendships. Just being like, oh, Duke's such a terrible person or whatever.
Don't be friends.
I don't
of-
think that, by
I
the
don't
way.
think-
Yeah.
because
well,
of
no,
blank, because of blank, or like for like something, or like you do something and they're like all mad. And it's just like it's like shifted so quickly from like, if I how I would look at it, or how I thought it would more be, is like, I have a problem with somebody. I'm like, there's the extreme of like taking it to a fight, but there's also the like, there's the confrontation. It's like
just the
walk up to them
conversation,
and be like,
yeah.
yo, I have a problem, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah. Zero of that. And that's where I'm more like, I'm not uncomfortable with conflict. So if somebody's like, hey, or if someone's like doing something, I don't have a problem being like, hey, that's a problem. I have a problem with that. But, and so it's just like interesting of noticing like there's
people
it's
that
like
literally can't talk about
undermining.
it.
It's like undermining and like talking behind your back, like
So gossip.
but like girls do, in the sense of like
That's all girls
undermining.
do.
Yeah, but it's like, it's not as much as girls do it, but it's like this shift where it's like, instead of like handling it like a man, or like respectfully and just like, yo, I have a, like, like all that.
Yeah.
It's like shifted to this subtle like undermine.
It's like boys have become girls in a way.
I don't. It's a weird. It's
in
a
a
weird
little
shift.
way.
Let me. I hear you, and this topic is both.
We could go on forever.
And it's a part of human experience, right? But one thing that I think is very unique to our time, and I just want to hear you guys talk about this honestly. So technology is a huge part of the moment that we're in. You guys are born in an unfortunate moment. I think there's beauty built in, but really where there's so many things that are coming out when it comes to like the actual technology. AI is a great example of stuff that's just yet again changed the whole world. But you guys are in a unique moment where there's a lot of understanding and new technology coming out, and we're kind of all slow to understand the impact. So there's different levels of like, even right now within your age group, of access to technology. And that is something that Mom and I've obviously, not only we think about, talk about, pray through, but that's both been like, because I have all these conversations with you, both something that I think you've both said in different times, like there's parts of it that you are thankful for, and there's parts of it that are like infuriating and challenging and super hard. So I would love to know, and again, you don't have to, I'd love for you just to be honest. How has our decision to basically have more boundaries around technology than the common person at your high school, Duke, as an example, like the common person who really doesn't have a lot of maybe boundaries or expectations around it. How has that impacted you? What are your thoughts about technology and how it impacts you and your thoughts on it?
You went first last time.
You have to talk for like 30 minutes.
You went first last time.
I love it. You guys are witnessing right now
Since
arguments
Duke went
on
last time,
air.
can I
Are
go
you
this-
tattling seriously?
I'm
So-
asking if I could go this time.
So
I'm
Yes,
canceled.
I think Scarlet can go first because you went first last time.
you can have an extended chapter, Duke. We're gonna do a bonus episode. Duke's deep thoughts
on Scarlet.
What's another D? Duke's deep thoughts on
Duke's
dungeons.
deep dive.
Scar, go ahead.
But so I feel like there are two extremes. I feel like there's the extreme of like having absolutely every single social media possible phone thing, and then there's also nothing.
Yeah.
And so I feel like,
That's
I
good.
feel like there isn't really a good middle ground. So I think like even friends that I have that have like Pinterest and all this stuff just at their disposal, I can tell, because I'm like, I can tell kind of like how technology is kind of affecting them. Like
You can see it for real?
I can't, like, I think specifically with friends that I have that like have social media or Pinterest, like they are so insecure because that's all they look at all day. So they're
Really?
just like, yeah, because it's just all they look at all day. And so I feel, but then also it's kind of hard because I have so many friends that just got like new iPhone 17 Pros, and I have like the crappiest Samsung
That's the
on
second time
planet
you
Earth.
said this. That's great.
And no, it will, like I'll be holding
was
it
my
and I'll be
phone
typing
first.
and
It's
it will
so bad.
freeze. It will just, it
It's
won't work.
so
And I
bad.
have to restart it, and it's just like, it's a whole thing, and I hate my camera.
terrible.
And I
I
love
get it.
taking
We're bad.
pictures.
We're-
First world problem.
So I
everybody.
think
First world problem.
iPhone, Scarlet, you'll appreciate the iPhone shift.
Oh, I know.
I
will.
could
Son.
swipe and it wouldn't freeze.
That's so nice.
Don't you dare tease her with a good time.
I could type, Scarlet.
Don't
here's
you
the
dare
best
tease
thing.
me with
You know how it
non-
freezes when you start
freezing.
typing?
Yes.
When you'll type a word and it'll take like a second for it to pop up on the screen.
Oh,
What
wow.
a struggle.
You
No,
don't have to worry about it anymore.
What was texting called when we were texting? something
T9.
T9.
That's where you had to like push. If it was like a B, you'd have to push 1 twice to get to the B.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot. Keep going.
But I think it's hard because you guys went more towards the route and not like shadowing you guys,
It's
but like
okay.
you guys went more towards the route of like not as much, which I think is a good thing and is hard at the same
0.
time because I have friends who are a few years younger than me and they have iPhone 17 Pros and I'm just kind of like, they don't have things on them. They just have like texting and music and stuff. But I'm like, oh, I'm older than you and I like have a really crappy phone and stuff. So I think that is particularly hard for me seeing how my friends can also have the same boundaries and also have an iPhone and I have like, I don't know. So I think that is hard for me, but I also, I would never like, as much as like it sounds kind of fun, like I would never want to have an iPhone with like everything because I think I'd just be distracted all the time. I would be insecure all the time and I would just suck. I think the hardest thing, I've talked to you guys about this a lot. I think the hardest thing is watching all my friends have the same exact boundaries as me with their phone, but they have like this brand new iPhone and it has all these cool features. And I think that's really hard for me because you guys are like hard, no iPhone till 16, which is really hard because I'm just like somebody's trying to put their number in my phone and it just completely freezes. And I'm like, okay, so you have to wait. I'm going to have to restart it. I'm going to have to. So that's, so I think that's hard for me. I think it does sometimes feel, again, not trying to shadow you guys, but it does sometimes feel.
You can say what you want.
They
girl.
did say to be very honest, actually.
You can be as honest as you want.
It is hard, and it sometimes feels like a lack of trust when like
when you
anytime
pull it
we're
quick.
on screens, the door has to be completely wide open. If we don't have the door open, sometimes you guys will get very mad and I'll be kind of like,
Primarily
I'm so
me.
sorry. Like I forgot we have so many rules around technology. I can't remember all of them. And so that's kind of how I felt last night is I forgot to ask if I could play a game. But Dad walked in, he was like, Scarlet. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. The door's not open and I forgot to ask. And then he just looked at me and was like, and then walked away and I was like, oh no. And then later he was like, I'm sorry. But I'm like,
I came back and said,
yes.
I'm not trying to cover myself here.
No,
I'm
yes,
trying
you
to
did.
say though,
Really?
in those moments, I think it's important both because I get really triggered with those moments because I feel like how many times do we have to talk about this? So
Yes.
I feel disrespected and usually don't respond kindly at first. And so, I had to come back.
No, but I
and
do
repair.
get it because I forget a lot. I think I have ADHD. We're not quite sure, but I forget a lot of things.
And we are all about self-diagnosing in this family.
Oh yeah,
She has
lots of
ADHD
stuff.
for
She
sure.
has an appointment in February. Okay.
We already know.
But I do think it's hard because when there is not as much, when it's like really like there's a lot of rules around it, it feels like a lack of trust. But then also, I feel like if I had everything, it would feel like a lack of caring. So I think it's a kind of odd.
Interesting.
I think it's a kind of odd thing because
Well said.
like I know people who have everything and I'm like their parents just don't care what they're doing
So
the
I
entire
have a
time.
question about that.
And then Duke, you're up.
Do you think, because I feel like we're course correcting this a little bit in real time right now. Dad and I have actually had conversations like this of like, I think sometimes
Not about an iPhone, sister. I see your face where this is going.
I mean, our
that's not what we've said.
Our tone and our reminding of the rules
Yeah.
can be reactive and with
Instead of
a
caring.
tone of shame instead of, and which is not what we don't want you guys to feel like we don't trust you. And it's that we don't trust the internet, but we trust you.
But you're right.
Yeah.
I'm curious, is it the rules that make you feel like we don't trust you, or is it the way that we have enforced them or communicated them, or the way we respond when a rule is forgotten?
I think a little bit of both because with all the rules that we have, I am personally a very rule follower person. And if I break a rule, I will immediately tell my mom and
She's
dad
not
because I
joking.
am like,
She's not joking.
She's not
I am
joking.
so like, my dad will be like, I don't know, like he'll react to somebody and I'm like, Dad, no, don't do that. They're gonna get mad. And so
Remember
I'm
the
like
car,
that type
remember
of
the car
person.
the other day?
That was a crazy story for later. But
I have multiple stories with cars. Anyway, keep going.
but I think sometimes both, because I also do not react well to shame. So I think
None of us do. But
None of
there's
us
a
do.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I think there's a, and I think that's also, this is a whole different topic, but I think that's also a very hard thing is when parents respond in shame, or even like, I feel like you guys don't respond in shame as much as I've seen other parents for sure. Like you guys are very good at like naming like, okay, I know that, I was shaming you. I'm sorry about that. But like, I feel like even just like parents responding in shame, that's like, I'm like, oh my gosh.
You're particularly very
And I am
sensitive.
particularly very sensitive. I'm not the type of person that's just like, oh, cool. I'm like, what did I do? I did something so wrong.
Well,
And
I
so,
asked you to go out to lunch today before our podcast. Like, hey, do you want to go to lunch and grab coffee before? Just because I was wanting to hang with you. We had a great time, by the way. Talked about Sephora almost exclusively.
I felt kind of bad for him because that's kind of all we talked about.
And you found out that I have my own account at Sephora.
Yes.
You do? You guys have to understand.
He got
I
his
don't
20%
understand.
off. He got
I
his
don't
20%
understand.
off.
Means you give them your phone number and you
because
can get certain discounts.
You get like 20% off if you just give them your phone number and open an
He
account.
just, he
you
really
buy more
likes the
colognes?
makeup. He just
No, I'm just saying this is.
he has his little skincare routine at night.
Are you
He's
whispering
got all
in the mic?
he's got glow recipes, got all the good. No, I'm joking.
No, he doesn't.
I'm joking.
I was like, oh my
He
gosh.
has the $14 Sephora collection moisturizer.
and I
He
gotta
actually
tell
does
you,
have that.
It really does help that face. But hold on.
Oh yeah.
Before all of our distractions took over, what were we saying?
You were talking about my response to you.
So
when you said,
thank you, Scarlet. I invited you out to lunch and said, let's go. And your first question was like, I'm not in trouble, am I? And I was like, what am I?
Look,
Because
whenever you text and say, hey, we need to talk, I'm like,
you're like, oh no.
about what?
I know, because
Nothing bad, I
sometimes
hope.
because sometimes you guys will like try to just like make
fair.
it calm and normal, and I'm just like, what did I do? So
I said nothing.
but yeah, so I think it's sort of both of like it does feel like with a lot of rules it feels like, oh, you don't trust me, so we need to have all of this stuff around it. And so it does feel like that, but then at the same time, sometimes when the reaction is humongous, like even you didn't have even that big of a reaction when I was playing a game, but I felt really bad because I was like, oh my gosh, I forgot to ask.
And you
I
did a
forgot
great job.
to
But
leave
you
the door
did a great
open.
job owning it too. You really did.
And so even like with that, I'm like, oh no, I feel really bad. But I think it's sometimes both, because then I will also feel not as trusted if it's like you're playing, because I also have a very shut down iPad that has Disney Plus, and I have a bunch of like screen time limits and all that stuff. But I think it's, so then at the same time I'm kind of like, you don't trust me with a completely shut down iPad. So sometimes I think it's a little bit of both. And I know that later, and already now, that I am thankful that we have those rules, and I wouldn't want to have like an iPhone with everything on it. But then it is hard when all my friends are like, I just got a new iPhone, and I'm like, I don't even have an Apple Watch. This is great. So
I'm gonna let Duke go. I want to say thank you for articulating that. I think you did a wonderful job of being honest, and I know this is one of those things that we know that we've had to make a decision on this, and this is where it's hard. And I appreciate your honesty, because I think what you shared is exactly what you share in private is what you're sharing in this public space. But Duke, I'd love to hear. I know that you're 16 now. You'll be 17 in July. There's a lot of, you're at a different place of life, and then you also have technology that we decided to, at 16, get you an iPhone. Obviously, we do it very strategically where there's not app access, and
it's essentially her phone.
It is and it isn't. It has access to different things, but that's it.
it is.
Yeah, to an extent. But I'm saying, truth be told, it has some more stuff, but very few.
It has my
things.
work app and stuff. Thank you.
So that said, though, but I know like we have a lot of, truthful space. Like there's tension around this because there's the give and take right now of like maturity, manhood, equipping you to have all the access to the things, and then there's also like wisdom, discernment, protection, all in the same like moment. So anyway, with all that set up, how does this hit you? What's your thoughts on this?
Rules for me around this, I think, as much as I don't want it to translate to not trusting.
Yeah.
So the tone is a big part of that.
Mhm.
But the amount of rules is, I think for me personally, and this is no diss, it just adds up on like distrust levels. So it's like, my phone at 10:20 at night shuts down completely, and I can only text, and I have maps.
I can't. Anyone listening to this, if that's crazy to you, please send an email in because
I've been trying to prove this for so long.
I want Duke to understand that that's actually far later than most. But I'm not arguing with you this. That said, though, I do know there is it's not unlimited, yes, but we keep having this funny argument where it's like, this is crazy. And I'm like, I don't think you understand. Most parents are like off at 8, but nonetheless,
that's like a big tension point. But
yes, it is. Let's hash it out here. I'm kidding. Keep going.
No, big tension point. But I don't have access to. I don't have an iPad. They obviously love Scarlet more, so they got her an iPad.
I'm an iPad
Sorry,
kid.
by the way, you do have an
I'm
iPad
just
for
kidding.
school. That
You actually
I have
do
a
have
school
one.
iPad. I can't do anything on it.
You have
And also,
more access to your
Scarlet,
school
yours is
iPad,
the school
unfortunately, than
iPad.
you do on
Yeah,
other things.
mine is
so.
the school iPad. It's not mine.
It just you happen to get to use it.
But
the
keep
most.
going. Yeah, I don't want to.
On the social media stance, I have noticed two things: that there's a type of person who's super duper susceptible
susceptible to what?
social media and
Yeah.
how it affects them.
You
Like,
mean okay, like
That really
the
let it
side
affect them.
effects or the negative impacts of it?
Yeah.
yeah, super very like can fall in.
Impressionable.
Very impressionable. And there's another category of kids who, yes, to say it doesn't affect them would be a lie, but to say it affects them a lot less
Yeah.
than kids. So like Scarlet, if Scarlet had social media, I would be like, not a good idea for Scarlet specifically. No, that's no diss on Scarlet. It's just the way her brain works. That would not be like good for her.
Are you a psychologist now?
No, you said it wouldn't be good for you.
It wouldn't
You
be.
said
It's
that.
not good for anybody.
You yourself said that.
Yeah,
no,
not
I'm
good
saying
for you
no. It's
either.
not good for anybody. I know.
Scarlet,
But
I think you would agree.
I
You
would
get
agree that
sucked
it's
in.
not going to
You're-
be good
you're
for
a very-
you, but
yes.
I think but
middle
you're also
school,
kind of
you
dissing your
growing up-
sister. So keep going.
sorry, growing up. But I'm talking about like kids in
to a
high school.
certain- Yes.
Scar.
Kids in high school, I think it's a little different because there's like all the studies coming out. I mean, there's this one. I mean, we've had this debate before. There's this one book that says social media might be okay at 16 instead of 18. And it was this one book that me and my
Anxious
parents read.
Generation?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it said 16 instead of 18. And I would say that I actually do see the 16 side because for me personally, I don't think I'm also a guy.
Yeah.
So I think if you were to be like, hey, here's Instagram. I want you to here's Instagram, blah, 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 blah. I actually think that for me, you guys can disagree. But I think all I would use it for is finding the most ridiculous like shorts and whatever, or like
I actually agree
reels
with him
and just
on
sending
that.
them to you.
I agree with you.
But let me say something.
It would affect us very differently
Okay.
because of our different
Oh,
personalities.
so I want to agree. But here's the backside thing that I don't think you see because we've been aware of this. The amount of pornographic options, the amount of filth that is actually even on Instagram
Yeah.
is actually the thing that why Australia just literally had a social media banned.
Really?
Australia, the
Big
first
we
thing.
country
should
ever
live in Australia.
First country to ever do it.
do it. And there's some real things.
What is
there.
it till 16 or 18?
It's 16.
I'm not sure exactly, but
Very valid.
but the reason I'm saying that is because like Instagram as an example, unless you have filters and or real great boundaries with stuff, and as a 16-year-old man, no offense to I'm going to talk to my 16-year-old self. I would not do well with that. So there's lines there where it's like, I agree on the fact that it wouldn't probably make you more insecure about your body.
Yeah.
I do think it could
I'm just
activate a
trying to-
level of lust that could be uncontrollable.
Yeah. I'm just trying to point out the fact that
Yeah.
for someone like me, it's different. For like
You're right.
who's older and a guy, it's different. And I'm not going to see all the like inherent risk of it first.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
And so I'm saying for me, I'm not like,
It's more of an innocent thing.
it's
than,
more, I'm not thinking about it as like, I I think if you guys gave me Instagram and I like, and talking about the effects of like having your own account and looking at other people's, I don't think that'd be a problem at all, really, because I just don't care enough to like, I think in my opinion to like, oh, that guy has a nicer car than me. I'm like,
I think that is a valid
also,
point of it affects people completely differently.
Yeah.
It depends. Parents, it depends on your child.
I think honestly, the thing I would say is like, yeah, social media definitely affects kids in negative ways almost always. But I'm saying for some kids, it affects them more than others.
Yeah.
Agreed.
And so I think you have to be careful. It's like, I mean, you can see kids who are super susceptible to it.
Yeah.
And then you can see kids who are not as susceptible to it.
And I think one of the things that maybe it's just a highlight because it's easy to miss here. Because we didn't give you access to that early, the hope was to give you a foundation to look at it without being sucked into it, to have the choice, really.
Yeah.
And so you're coming into a time really soon, Duke, even where like you'll be able to make all of these decisions, and we'll scale up to it, but all these decisions by yourself.
Yeah.
And then you'll have to decide, well, how do I want to engage with that?
Yeah.
But you'll know it, and you hopefully, and the real goal, and this is the main one, is that you can decide and not be, that you can control it instead of it control you.
I already feel that though, like with,
I think you're right. I think
with mostly with like all that stuff, I feel like if I were to, I don't think I'd be obsessed or addicted to social media because I haven't had it in my life at a very susceptible time.
Yeah.
Like middle school through what's like 13 to, that's like 3 years of very good formation. And then plus another 2 years. So till I'm 18. So,
but the one thing you have to understand is most adults who are in their 40s get Instagram for the first time and can become completely obsessed.
That's true.
Because it is designed to hook you.
Yeah.
oh, for sure.
So
I'm saying also just my personality mixed with the fact that it hasn't really been a factor ever.
Yeah.
And they're all the negative effects and all the things that, we now know about. I would say like, I don't think I would be like crazy about it.
I agree with you and I disagree with you at the same time. I agree that you wouldn't be crazy about it. And I think you never know what you don't know. And so I think what wisdom would say to anyone listening, but also to both of you guys is like, don't underestimate the power of certain dynamics that you've not experienced before. Because I remember I thought, this is a silly example, but I think it works perfectly. I remember I heard about all these people jumping into freezing water. I'm a sucker for a good cold plunge.
And cold plunging.
But cold. Yeah, Duke and I went the other night. That was magical though, son. Wasn't it?
I like the candles.
So we went to the sauna cold plunge place that I love, and they gave us our own private sauna.
Yeah, she saved it for us. She was super nice.
It's so nice. And then we walked down to the river. By the way, it was 37 degrees and there was candles lit. It was beautiful. Duke got it. We
felt
did it
kind of
twice.
romantic, honestly.
Yeah. Thank you, son. I wanted you to say it. I've been inviting your mom, and so
Well, you should do it.
yeah. Thank you, son.
She would never.
37-degree water,
She hates
pitch
being
black,
cold.
super romantic.
Yeah, resuscitation is what it sounds like. But I remember when people would jump into cold water and they'd be like, yeah, when you jump into water, your body's like shocked so quick. When you go from like, when you jump into cold water and you go all the way under and submerge, your body will naturally just like, you can gasp without being able to control it, and you can inhale water. And I remember hearing this. I'm like, I've done so many cold plunges. I just don't think this was going to happen. Like I was convinced in myself, and I was almost like arrogant about it a little bit. Like, yeah, whatever. And then I jumped in this place called Blue Pool, jumped in from like just completely normal temperature, jumped in, and I jumped in and my body totally just sucked in water. I gasped unintentionally. This is how people drown so quickly when they jump into freezing cold water. And I was like so humbled in that moment because I was like, I thought under this moment and pressure, I would perform differently. And that's just an example to say, until you've been faced with the option, we don't always know how we're going to respond. Although I will say this, son, you are very in touch and in tune with who you are. And I don't disagree that you'll have boundaries because you have them for yourself. I think you would have really good
I think I
limits.
hold myself to a standard harsh inner critic kind of like, like I wouldn't want that. And then one thing that I would say though, like I would so much rather have Instagram than Snapchat. I think from what I've noticed,
Tell me.
Snapchat from freshman year, I wanted Snapchat so bad.
I remember
I was
the
like, I
conversation.
wanted it so bad. I was
Yeah.
like, I really wanted like, it's how kids text. It's all this stuff. This year, I'm realizing, very glad I did not get that specific app because of all you can add literally anybody in the entire world. You could add, like, if they have a Snapchat account, like, I don't think of like the worst, like you could add Vladimir Putin on Snapchat and just chat with him. Like,
I mean, he's probably pretty accessible.
That's super extreme.
Probably
super
is
extreme.
hard
you can
on the
chat
Snap.
with anybody.
Yeah, but that just to say, like, you can chat with literally anybody. Good people, very bad people.
Sure,
Like,
sure.
you know what I'm saying? So it's
Well,
like,
you can on Instagram to an extent as well.
well, yeah, you can.
but
But
you've seen
Snapchat
that.
is primarily it's a communication app. So it's like you are like talking with a bunch of like random people and stuff, and you can send anything and it just deletes.
So I want to ask this because, we got to land the plane at some point today, but I'm going to ask you a bonus round question in a second. Here's what I want to ask you guys before I ask the bonus question.
Okay.
If you were to tell any parent listening, and again, I don't know what you're going to say, but I'd be curious, like, you could encourage any parent that's like, should I give my kid a phone? Should I give him these apps? Should I not? Like, where do you guys land in your stage, right? Like, I would love to know what you guys would encourage any parent. Make it brief, but go.
I think, well, first of all, definitely 10,000% depends on the age of your child because they're like me and my friends will see all the time. There's like 7 or 8 year olds walking around a shopping mall with a Lululemon crossbody bag and an iPhone with Instagram. I'm like,
Wow.
you're like 7 years old. Like, what is
Could you
happening?
imagine Birdie with having Instagram for 2 years already?
Oh my gosh.
Just horses on the For You page.
Holy crap, dude, that's so funny. Birdie's got such
100%.
just horse background, on horse background, riding a horse.
In my personal opinion, I don't think any kid should have a phone before the age of 12, no matter what it is. But in my personal opinion, I would always start with a dumb phone because you really can't do anything on it. Like it just only texting and calling. But at the same time, I feel like once you get older, I feel like even this happened with me and my mom when she was deciding whether or not, like, what age I was allowed to wear makeup because all my friends started wearing makeup and it was like, oh, when can I wear makeup? And so my mom was like, okay, it just kind of depends on what's happening. And so I think that's also another valid point if your kid is like really young and then you're like trying to think about when to give them a phone. I think it's also just you have to evaluate in the time period that you're in. But I'd say if you do get your kid an iPhone when they're a teenager or something, like, no social media.
This is your opinion. You get to share whatever you want. This
I
is your
understand where Duke is coming from like that. But I feel like there are two sides because I think, I'm trying to make this brief, but I think there are two sides because I know what Duke is saying and how he's like, I don't think I would get sucked in and that totally makes sense. But I think there's also another side of if you don't, like my mom used to do this, is we have always ate pretty healthy. And so whenever we'd go to parties and there'd be candy, me and Duke would go hard. We would go so hard. And then we'd come home and be like, Mom, my stomach
No,
hurts.
Duke would come home and puke.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally. I
So-
remember those times.
So
too.
That's how starved of good things I was.
So
I was like ice cream.
Son,
I
I
had
was-
as much as I
I
wanted.
was sneaking you Pop-Tarts and Fruity Pebbles. You know I was. Keep going.
I've never had a Pop-Tart before.
I've never had a Pop-Tart ever.
I don't think I've ever had a
I've
Pop-Tart.
never
We
had
can
a
go to the
Pop-Tart.
store right now. I'm telling you. I'd be down.
That sounds
but
good.
I think
There it
there's
is.
like a definite like also like when you don't have social media ever and then you give your kid, if your kid has never been exposed to social media and then they get exposed to like 16, I think that's also a thing because they could become completely
Carte blanche.
addicted. So I
Crazy.
think, but even I heard my cousin, was it Jude, who said like when you first get an iPhone, you're like you're doing all like the fun things on it.
Moses.
Moses said that. You could do all like these fun,
What a
like
legend.
customize it, and then after 2 weeks it like wears off, and I'm like, that does make sense to an extent. But
That's
then
what
there's-
happened to me.
I feel like
that's
there
true.
are multiple sides, and it also depends on your kid. But I think what was I
But I
got
hear
kind
you-
of sidetracked.
What
But
I hear you saying is
Yeah,
you
Mom will
think
land the
it's a
plane
good
for you.
idea to not do too young,
Mhm.
to start really basic.
Yeah.
And to slowly the word is titrate.
Yeah.
When you're like slowly
Crazy word.
adding things in.
Yeah.
So that slowly over time you get to the place of freedom in the sense of like you are
Yes.
making the decisions around
Yes,
it. Is
but
that what I
I-
hear you saying?
Yes, but what's
And
kind
I'm
of
sure there's times you wish that titration was faster than your
Yes.
parents are currently
I think
allowing.
I think that there's definitely both because I wouldn't want social media like Duke was saying. He thinks it'd be bad for me. You know, I think it would be bad for me too. But I think
Say it, Duke. You were right.
Duke, you were right, and you are wrong
Okay,
about social media.
you got to sum it up because
So,
it's got to be
summing
Bro's
it up,
turn.
I think, yeah, like what you said, and I think, yeah, definitely do not give your child a phone at 7 years old.
That's your
That
opinion.
is-
I like
that is
That's
my
where you landed.
opinion.
Duke, what's your
Love it.
thoughts?
My thoughts, pretty straightforward. Set expectations before you do it, though. Here's what I would say. You guys didn't set a lot of expectations about what I was going into, and that's
We did or didn't?
didn't. Like
With
you,
what?
like you were like not. You weren't like everybody's gonna have a phone. Everybody's gonna have Snapchat. There wasn't a lot of expectations.
You're talking
oh,
about that.
like
Yeah.
culture,
With
telling
school.
you what you're going to experience in culture.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's fair.
So
I
which
agree.
and a lot of parents
agree.
aren't, but I think for now, my thought is when your kid's gonna go into middle school, a lot of kids are gonna have iPhones already. They're already gonna have iPhones,
Mhm.
and they're gonna have like everything on it.
Yeah.
I think preparing them and being like, look, there are kids that are gonna have iPhones and they're gonna have a lot of stuff on them, and I like these kids don't know that it's not actually in their well-being to like do blank, that to like have an iPhone like this, and we're not gonna get you an iPhone till you're 13. It's gonna suck. It's gonna really suck. You're gonna probably hate us for a little bit. It's gonna like feel super wrong and
Oh, I wonder
not
how you
gonna fun.
really feel
Yeah,
about
yeah.
this.
Till you're
And-
13.
You
but
told
just
us
saying-
to be
So you're
truthful.
13, you were
Is that what you
16.
said?
Yeah,
I
no, I'm
think-
talking
I
about
think
like
14.
Like, but it's gonna suck for a kid in middle school. You know?
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah,
they're,
yeah.
they're not
You're
gonna.
not
It's
wrong.
gonna.
You're
They're
not
gonna
wrong.
feel like an outlier. It's gonna.
Yeah.
Because
Yes.
that's what this culture
sure.
has kind of created. And so
Good
I
point.
think a dumb phone at 13. I think a still dumb, but not as dumb of a phone at like 15 or 16, around there. And then I
Like
think
iPhone, or what do you mean? What do you mean by
Like
dumb
a
phone?
pinwheel?
Something that
dumb
has a
phone,
little
yeah,
more.
like pretty much barely anything. Pretty
Okay.
much like maybe music, because that's always
Music
fun.
is very
maybe
helpful.
music, texting, calling,
Camera.
camera. That's photos. That's about
Okay.
it.
Okay.
Like that's what I mean when I say dumb phone.
Okay.
And so they can have the joy of like the extreme basics of a phone,
Yeah.
and then like your kid's gonna go crazy when they first get it for sure, because like 2 weeks you're like I can do all the things, the wallpaper. and
Trust
the
me,
things.
that was me.
It's gonna be so
that
fun.
was me.
And then I feel like there's gonna be a point when you realize like they just like they'll throw it across, they'll like toss it on their bed, like
I
forget
will
it. So,
chuck
like,
my phone.
yeah,
across
I mean,
the
me and
room.
Scarlet shared a phone for a little bit, and we like would forget it, or she would forget it everywhere.
So
Yeah.
I hear. Any other thoughts with that?
And then
Well,
what
and
after
finish-
that?
It's hard for
Finish it
us
up.
to sum things
And then
up.
like,
No, you're good.
and then
we're
like,
helping.
so after that, I think gauging 17 or 18 for
social media.
social media use.
Okay.
Obviously 18 being like you can have the whole phone essentially,
Because you're an adult.
Yeah.
because you're an adult,
So I hear you saying the same thing Scarlett said, essentially.
just with more steps.
Not too young and a titration.
Yeah.
Which I think is interesting. And I think for,
And again, we
for
didn't
parents
ask you to
listening,
say
no,
that, but I do.
Yeah,
I
we
do
hadn't
think it's
planned on
interesting
talking to you about this.
No, we didn't.
I actually, what you guys both laid out is actually very similar to what we have actually done thus far. But what I like about the conversation we just had is you guys shared honestly the parts that are hard, feeling
Yeah.
like we don't trust you, feeling like you wish certain aspects of social media were more your decision at this age. What I hope whoever listening, if you're in this stage with your kids, is and I think you guys would say this too, to not be afraid of disagreeing and
Yeah,
of having
there's going to be a lot. What I would say is there's going to be a
dialogue
lot of disagreements
about it.
Mm-hmm.
And we've had really healthy dialogue about it. We've had heated,
Very,
not
yeah.
super healthy dialogue
fellowship?
about it.
Not just with him, with me
Both
too.
of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, both
It's
of you.
I think
But-
it's when
But
you're
I think at least I'll speak for myself. I like that we've been able to talk about it, honestly, that I know where you guys stand, that you know where we stand and why. And we don't have to agree eye to eye all the time on all of it, but that we can at least attempt to listen to each other and try to hear each other's point of view. At least that's how I experience it. I don't know if you guys would say you experience it
a
the
little
same.
different, but similar.
Yeah. I mean, because you're hitting, walls that aren't moving currently. But I just think what I hope those listening can see is it's okay to have dialogue about it. Yeah.
Bonus round. You guys ready?
Yes.
The reason I'm doing this is
Bonus.
just
Give me a
because.
bonus question.
So these are going to be fast.
Oh, okay.
Ready.
I'm not
No-
good at speaking fast.
No, you are. You are. These are going to be, this is the bonus round. What is one thing, and these can be funny or serious, what is one thing that you love that mom and I do? And what is one thing that you hate that mom and I do?
You first.
It's true. So you're gonna go first. So one each, and yes, you can be funny.
Just rapid fire, quick
yes,
answers.
Dude, go.
One thing I love that you guys do, like together
No,
or specifically?
individually.
Just, yeah.
Individually.
Okay. One thing that I love that Dad does. Recently got on a cologne thing.
Jeff Johnson.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Scentfluencer. We hear that every single morning on our rides to school.
No, you
I'm not
don't.
gonna. So I've never knew really about this world. I mean, my dad he ordered like a really basic cologne, anyways, and like I have one because I sent him two, and it's not that great. And then he's like, "Well, here's like a really expensive, really nice cologne," and I was like, "Whoa."
Yeah.
So that's one of my favorite things right now.
Is that I buy cologne?
You buy cologne.
Okay,
and I
great.
just use
Opened
some,
his
and it
world
smells
up to
really
cologne.
good. Yeah,
Yeah,
it smells really
great.
good.
I value
got a lot of
smelling good.
compliments
That's a-
today.
You did?
I did.
Which one did you wear?
I want the Jean Paul.
That one?
Jean-Paul
Le Mer. Le Mer.
I don't know what it's called.
EDP? Keep
Yeah, it's
going.
like Jean Paul something. Anyways, very good. One thing I dislike.
Did you wear that without asking? I'm sure. Yeah.
Well,
I'm just
well,
curious. I mean, just
I've
confess.
asked you every
Just tell
time,
me.
but you were like gone.
Yeah, see?
I was in the bathroom when he came up to get it, and I said, "You sure you want to do that?"
Like, I was
without
like,
asking?"
I'm sure you'd be fine with it.
It's like each squirt is $25. No, I'm just kidding.
And then he tried to spray it in the bathroom, and I was like, "No, you have to go into another room. It makes me sick."
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
Thanks, babe.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's what I
There's
said.
a-
I said, Dad makes you sick.
Okay,
And
this
she
is
goes-
rapid.
she
She's
goes-
not
she goes,
rapid
"No,
fire
no."
bonus round.
Anyways.
Okay, so
Okay.
that's something
That's
you
what you
like.
like.
What's something you don't like? It's okay. I'm ready.
I don't really have anything negative right now. Not personally. I mean, there are things, but it's just deeper stuff.
Goes way deeper.
You can say
You
it.
can
What is
say
something?
it.
That, what's something that's just hard, or like it doesn't have to be like the most
can-
revealing.
I think we're bumping into, we're having problems right now in the sense of I'm wanting more freedom in certain areas.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
there's not. And you guys would prefer not to give me more freedom in those certain areas because of your
Different
own reasons.
Yeah. I
So,
agree. There's tension there. Yeah. Those
tension
are
there.
hard parts. Yeah.
Anything I like that mom does recently?
Could be recent or in general. Right?
Why is this taking you so long to think? Wow.
Sorry.
just
It's
one easy
actually,
answer.
once it gets to you.
Okay,
like,
how
you've had a lot of
how
time.
about this? I'll do dad right now while you think about mom, and then
No.
you do mom.
Oh.
Okay, we'll just do that.
No?
Should-
Okay.
No? Okay,
Do you
fine.
want to
go.
do that or not?
You go.
Remember how I'm the oldest? I'm just kidding.
Do you want to do it or not? You were so
One thing
ridiculous.
I love when mom gets heated at Birdie and Sloan. It's
You like this? This is something
my
you like.
favorite thing ever.
Okay, what happens?
Because it
Because it
expresses
feels
that
so
there's
good.
justice in this
Because
world.
so Birdie and Sloan, we love Birdie and Sloan so much, but Sloan is a firecracker, and Birdie has autism and says a lot of things that she doesn't know how hurtful they are.
That's a great description.
And
yes.
so she just, the part of her brain doesn't work like that. Anyways, she, last night, this is my favorite thing ever. Last
Me and
night,
Duke
they
were
got
so
in trouble
happy.
for trying to get into the Christmas presents and trying to see what they bought, essentially. And they started blaming each other. And so it was this back and forth of like just complete denial. And so mom takes Sloan to the stairs and starts talking to her, and Sloane's like obviously, like very obviously lying about it. She's like, I would never do that. And me and Scarlet are like,
just
she
looking at each other
totally
like-
did it. And like,
Totally.
and then my
She is the
mom's like,
troublemaker.
look, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't believe you. You need to go to your room, and your dad's gonna talk to you. And she goes, but I'm like being so honest. And me and Scarlet are like saying like, no, she's not. No, she's not. She like goes up the stairs, and I was like, oh.
There's
So
justice.
justice is
justice.
important to you. That's one of your favorite
Yep.
things mom
You
brings.
love
Got
justice.
it.
And
Yeah, I love that
you
mom
and I
was
share the love for
So
justice.
then what's something that you don't
So
like mom
happy.
does? We got to keep it
Yeah.
on.
and that I don't love that mom does. I could go really deep here, but I don't know if I want to.
Go for it.
Mom has a tendency to parent
yourself,
out
sweetheart.
of fear,
Yep.
which is understandable, but to someone like me, translates to almost everything being said as a command to, or like a question to distrust.
Yeah.
And someone, I think a lot of kids will realize like feeling that you're trusted is super duper, feels good.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a good
Feels
point.
secure. And so I
Yeah.
think,
Very observant.
No, that's good. And you know that I'm actively working on that.
Yeah.
Believe
That's no
it or
secret.
not, our podcast listeners know that I'm actively working on that.
I'm glad.
Yeah.
Okay, my turn.
Okay, so one nice and one not nice, but one thing you
What
love,
nice,
one thing.
what not nice.
No, go ahead.
One thing I love about you, Dad, is I put this in your Christmas card too, but how spontaneous you are. Like we
My
were
birthday
talking.
card or Christmas card?
Did I say Christmas card?
You did.
I meant
Tell 'em
birthday
that.
They're
card.
around the
We
same
were
time.
talking.
birthday
Around the same
card.
time. And
That
so
show's so good.
okay. No,
Keep going, Scar.
okay. But I love how spontaneous you are. Like we like you might ask a random question and it might be leading to like something huge. Like you asked me today, you're like, what are 5 things you'd buy at Sephora? That could, like, obviously I don't always expect this, but that could very literally lead to me going to Sephora and he might be buying me those 5 things. Like you're just like so spontaneous without
Yeah.
planning. Like you're like, where do we go? And I was like, I don't know. I don't have an opinion. And then he was just like, okay, we're going. And just drive somewhere random. So I think I love how spontaneous you are. Something I don't love is that you can be very intense.
Yeah,
And I do not
Absolutely.
do well with intense.
I know.
We've
talked about it.
I'm
I
also
agree.
a very emotional person. So when he
Yeah.
gets intense, I'm like,
Sorry. I'm sorry.
when he
You get
gets
to practice self-control,
when
sir.
when you
Yeah.
get intense, I just kind of am like
I know,
I
I
was
agree.
calling my cousin last night, and that's when you came in and we're like, oh, you're playing a game, and then I was like, Sunday, he's mad at me, and she was like, oh no, and I was like, I know, I'm scared. not.
Why?
Not, okay,
It's like he's
sorry.
like some
That came-
scary
sorry,
dictator.
Sorry, I'm so sorry. That came out so wrong. I
know
say
you-
things a lot that come out really wrong. So
no,
just
but
disclaimer.
explain what you
But,
were
like-
meaning though. Like yes, because you.
But
'cause
like I do not.
Emotional
I get
tension.
how people like some people would feel corrected by intensity, but to me, I take it as you're wrong. Did this wrong, bad. And
Yeah.
but I take gentle correction as like, hey, let's not do that. Like
Yeah,
I take
and
that
that's
and I'm like,
something-
oh wow, okay, yeah, I should really not do that. Like I feel
But
like I
even when
take
you
that
say
so.
you're scared, like
I'm
what
sorry.
you mean
I'm
is-
not scared. I was nervous that we were gonna have a humongous fight, and then it was just gonna be all night. That's what
Yeah.
I. That's
Totally.
not that. That came out so wrong when I
It
said
didn't.
that.
It's totally
Not that I'm
Scarlet,
scared of you, but I
stop,
didn't want to
you're
get into
fine.
a huge argument.
That's just real. Dad
Yes.
totally gets that.
And
yeah.
I know that I can be way too intense. So that it actually helps me, speaking of titrate down when I know that, that really all I need to say is, hey, do you remember like we talked about this?
Like that makes me be like, oh yeah, totally.
Yeah. And I have to learn, and I'm still learning, like you guys know, and I'm very honest about this with both of you. Like learning how to respond a whole different way than I was shown or modeled just takes so much repetition
Yeah.
and is not always easy. But I do want to say I totally agree with I agree. That is a hard part of
Sorry,
that-
they came out
something
so wrong.
It's fine. So
I feel
mom,
bad.
focus
Okay.
on mom.
Okay.
Something you love
I've got 2 things I love because here's the first thing. That you are very hot because the amount of
Did you say very hot?
Oh,
Like
yeah.
attractive?
Yes.
Can I say the thing?
What thing?
The story that I told mom like when you came to my high school one
Oh
time.
yeah,
Oh.
everybody.
It was it was the last thing I expected. Mom's walking through the it was like because I have like a hearing aid that I never wear, but we had to go to an IEP.
I'm glad you
meeting
admitted
for it.
that in
Yeah,
public.
I never
Good.
wear
Keep going.
hearing aid.
You should wear it.
Basically deaf in my right ear. I have such a big disability.
Stop.
No.
Just keep
Keep
going.
going.
Basically, we were just like doing.
Yeah, I was
this
there for an
little-
IEP meeting.
And
Yeah.
she was walking back, and this was like freshman year, and she was like walking away. I'm like, okay, bye, mom. And I walked over to some friends, and I
Were
was
they
talking with
girls or
them.
boys?
Most of them were girls. And so all the girls were like, who's that girl that you were with?
It goes,
Oh,
my
it's
mom.
like, that's my mom. They're like,
They were like,
she's so hot. She is so hot.
See,
And
I get
was
that.
like, I was like, whoa.
I get that at my
Yeah, like,
school
it's my
too.
mom.
We do these things that are called character awards, and I got an award, and they had to come to my classroom, and I was super embarrassed, and it was the whole thing. But then at recess, one of my friends goes, "Okay, was your mom like the really pretty one?" And I was like, I don't know. And she was like the one with like blonde hair, and she explained her outfit, and I was like, yeah, and she's like, oh my gosh.
Same
And then she
reaction.
was
She
like,
is
but
so
your
pretty.
dad though,
What?
wow.
Dad's gone so many
And then she
compliments
was like,
recently how
you just
young
have
you
a
look.
really good-looking family. And I was like, thank you. So you got a compliment too in there.
Oh, praise God. I
and
needed
then
that from a
another
middle
thing
schooler.
that I love is
First thing was hot. What was your second thing?
what was the second thing?
Maybe less physical, more emotional. Just a thought.
You guys both have the same qualities. You're very not shaming because you know how that like shuts me down. So like I'll tell my mom something and I'll like confess and be like, I did this thing. I feel so bad. And I'm a terrible person. I shouldn't even be here. And she's like, that's okay. And I'm like, what? And she's like, yeah, maybe don't do that, but that's okay. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't just die. We're good. Because in my head, like it's never actually happened, but in my head I build up like they're gonna be so mad. And then you guys actually are just like, oh, that's okay. Just don't do that. And I was like, and I'm like, oh wow. Like in my head, it's not what actually happens. And then one thing I dislike is, I feel like this is kind of this sounds weird, but it's kind of a you guys thing, is like, I feel like you guys don't bend the rule, like not bend the rules. You guys tend to hear us out and then we are like, oh my gosh, okay, it's gonna happen. And they're like, we hear you. And then I'm like, so can I get an iPhone? And you're like, absolutely not. And I'm like, you just spend an hour listening to me talk about this. I had bullet points. I printed out a paper.
Did you actually do that at some point?
I did that when I was asked to go on a work trip with them, but it didn't end up working out. But
But what was our response to your bullet points?
You guys actually listened.
An immediate absolutely yes, and then we found out you can't come to the event that we're speaking at.
But I have like points in my head. I'm like, I need to hit this one and this one, and then I end up getting emotional. I'm like, oh, these people have this thing. It's true emotions. They're not just.
No, I know.
They're not
We
just.
know.
Yeah.
So you don't love.
I don't love that you hear me out so much and then don't even
hold the line
consider.
on things.
Well, it's but to be fair to you, and I think it's important for anyone listening, it is not like, oh, we're always just gonna. We always have our answer. We'll listen to you just to shine you on. There are many times where we actually hear both of you out, and
then we
depending
talk
upon
at length.
even depending upon what you guys are talking about and sharing your heart, will be like, sometimes we definitely go, no, we should change. And then there's times when it's like, actually, even with all of that, there's other things that we have to make this call, and this is.
I think that's what is frustrating to me though.
Yeah,
sometimes because I think you guys are very quick. Sometimes you are, sometimes you're not. But I feel like a lot of times you're very quick to just go to no instead of, okay, let's actually hear out her side of the story. So I think
I'm especially quick to say no. My first response is usually no, and Dad helps me a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Do you really need to say no to that?
Yeah,
I think that's
that's
the thing I'm trying to grow in.
I remember when we were younger, we'd wait for Dad to get home, go on to watch a movie. Be like, Dad, can we watch a movie?
And he'd be like,
Mom
let's
would be like,
talk
no.
about it. Mom
And then Dad would be like, why
He's
not?
like, why don't we? Or he'd be like,
yes.
Dad, can we go get ice cream? And Dad's like, oh, we could think about that. And Mom's like,
Babe,
they had a peanut butter cup
they
today.
had sugar today.
They had
one peanut butter cup. We are not taking it. I'm joking.
my
You guys
gosh.
remember that
Let me.
strict, but
Well, I want to say, Duke and Scarlet, thank you for jumping on the show today.
This is fun.
This is your first, not last time, I'm sure. I would imagine, but I want to say, as a dad, so proud of you guys. I say this offline and online, and I say it anywhere. I'm just really proud of you guys. You're wonderful humans. I love hanging out with both of you very much. I also want to say that our group text for us four is called Trauma Bond.
Love that.
I love it. I love it. But no,
do you know that I don't get the title because of my stupid phone? It does not say Trauma Bond. It just says
favorite
She
thing.
doesn't get it and he
Dad.
doesn't like it.
I
Maybe we
did, and
need-
Mom named it back.
Oh, you shoot. What did you
What'd you
change
rename
it to? Was it appropriate?
I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, make sure it's appropriate.
It was like intentional group or something.
Stop it.
Oh my gosh!
I
Guess
swear
what?
it was something
No,
like
Last
that.
wait, really quick story.
No. I know where you're going. I'm not letting you tell that one.
No,
Is
it's
it the
not
one
bad.
about the photo?
No, it's the one about the photo and
Yeah. No. I'm
Maybe that's
saying,
what Duke is
I'm
thinking
carte
of.
blanching. I'm saying no on that one. But let me just say this last thing. I really appreciate you guys being honest, and I really appreciate just being able to have these types of conversations. I really do. And one of the things I think is one thing I want to make hyper clear to anyone that is listening is our family is just as messy as yours. Would you guys agree?
For
And
sure.
it is so.
if not messier.
Yeah, and
You
I
know?
would actually agree with
And
Scarlett on that.
we here's the thing. You may not like talk about all the problems.
But we talk about a lot of them.
No,
But keep
no,
going.
I'm talking about like in certain people's families, you may not talk about all the problems. And it's equally as messy, but then it also there's like it's like a different it's a different type of messy when you start talking about all of the problems.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like it's not, I wouldn't say more or less, I say it's just a different type.
So just don't idolize us because we are not the perfect family. Just not
Very
saying
true.
that we're not
Scarlett,
a
you're
good
funny.
family. Just saying we are.
Well, that's
not
a good point. Yeah,
perfect
we're
Very
we're,
true.
And
we're
this was not scripted, by the way. Just want to add that disclaimer in there.
I love that.
No,
You're
I love
saying
that
it's-
you said it because
saying all the
it's
right
so
things, Scarlett.
very, very true.
Well,
Kidding.
yeah,
No,
because
not.
no, all to say though, loved having you guys on. Thank you for giving wisdom to the
course.
generation that's
Mhm.
existing, and as we have future conversations, excited to see how all this evolves. But
Mhm.
I think this episode comes out on Christmas Eve, so we should say Merry Christmas. 1, 2, 3.
Merry
Merry
Christmas.
Christmas.